Married a bridezilla. In the 18 months we were married, she was such an unfit mother, too many instances to list here, that when the divorce was finalized, I got custody of our kid and the kid she had prior to our marriage. Yeah, that really says a lot. That really says a lot. And also, shout out to you for just, you know, being a good dad or mom. I'm like, I don't really know, to be honest with ya. 18, and they were only married for 18 months too, which like is longer than some marriages, but really not long in the world of marriage. I'll tell you that for sure. I danced with 2 people at my wedding, the one I married and the one I wish I married. What the f, then what are you doing there? That's messed up. That's messed up. First of all, it's messed up to get married to somebody when you want to be married to someone else, but also inviting that person to your wedding is also strange, right? In my personal opinion, it is a little strange. Also, remember when we used to do this? I never did it, but I always like looked at it, where you like anonymously submit your like big secret. This is hers. Barred lover. I just want to say that out loud. Not a bridemaid, but a witness to one. Okay. The bride got walked out on by her entire bridal party except her maid of honor. Of course, it was because no one loved her and everyone wanted to ruin her day, of course. Not because she ripped a bridesmaid's dress from the neck down in an open area because it was too white. It was the dress the bride insisted on all the maids wearing. Of course! Of course! Of course it is. That's always how it goes. I love when I just don't get it, maybe because I have never been married, but like, I just don't get why the bride even chooses the bridesmaids' dresses. Why can't they just choose their own dress? They can all pick together if they want, or they can just be like, this is the color, make it this color, that's it. I just never got that, but maybe I'm just not traditional enough. I feel like I'm like on the internet in 2010 looking at these, I don't know why. I dated 2 of my husband's best friends. They were both groomsmen in our wedding. No awkwardness at all. We grew up together. That's what happens in a small group of friends. I mean, that is true. That is true, and also like, yeah, but at some point I'd probably like explore outside of the friend group, but that's just me. I guess like that would be before I like found my husband, you know? Because then I'd be like, well, I love you and I don't want to explore outside of the friend group now. But after 2, I'd be like, well, you know what they say, 3rd time's the charm. Bride was blonde. All bridesmaids except for me were brunette. She asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. I suggested that instead I just give up my bridesmaid spot. Thankful to this day since I heard the dresses and bachelorette party cost the other girls more money than I make in a month. Yeah, I can imagine. Weddings are so expensive and people just expect their friends to like spend a pretty penny on some stuff that they don't really want to do or wear. That's the thing too with like letting them choose their own dresses. Then they can choose a dress that maybe they actually would wear again. And then you don't feel so bad that they're spending money. I would still feel bad, but still.
This guy found out that his bride was cheating on him, so what he did to her on their wedding day shocked everyone. And many people say that he took it way too far. Craig and Jennifer had been dating for many years ever since they met in university. Craig had also been friends with this guy named Smith ever since they were kids. When Craig and Jennifer got married, he introduced her to his childhood friend Smith, and all 3 of them became very close. However, Craig became suspicious that Jennifer was cheating on him because she was spending too much time with Smith. But he didn't say anything about it until their wedding day. During their wedding, Craig thanked everyone for coming and got on stage to make a speech. At the end of his speech, he asked the guests to remove the envelopes that were attached to the bottom of their chairs. Of course, all the guests thought that there would be a gift inside. But when they opened it, they saw a picture of Jennifer and Smith having sex. He then walked out and left Jennifer in tears.
Oh, dang. That's savage. Why would he subject everyone to have to see a photo of that? I guess he's like, if I gotta see it, so do you, folks. That's crazy. And like probably people like wouldn't believe him or be like, it's not that bad. So you gotta go with the shock factor. But at the wedding, I've always like wondered, because like it's so expensive to get married. So you go through with it just to not get married? Do you go on the honeymoon? I don't know. Got a lot of questions. However, it starts with however, so something must have gone on here before. However, after the ceremony was over and the party had only just started, one of the bridesmaids decided to announce her own engagement. Okay. The attention was immediately taken away from the newlyweds and brought to the bridesmaids, and brought to the bridesmaid, who I'll call Sarah, and her equally smug fiance. My cousin's wife, I'll call her Emma, didn't make a scene or utter a single negative word about Sarah. She looked like she was on the verge of tears, but she kept grinning and acted very happy for the other couple. Sarah later picked Emma to be the maid of honor at her own wedding, which took place last weekend. This is where the fun begins. Ooh, I'm excited. Emma announced in front of everyone that she was 5 months pregnant and that she just discovered the baby was a boy, hence the blue petals. The last slide, her ultrasound picture. There were shocked yells and gasps. Sarah had a fit, but those involved in the scheme cheered so loudly. Apparently, Sarah had been very nasty to her bridesmaids before, driving several of them away and forcing the others to pay ridiculous amounts of money for dresses. Classic. Yeah, it's just like, unless you're like really close with the like bride and groom and you've like triple checked with them first, it's so like rude. Like, these people spend all of this money on an event and you're gonna be like, and we got engaged. Like, it's not your engagement party, you know, like Instagram is for that. If you want to announce your engagement so badly. Like, it's just not the place unless you've like explicitly talked about it and like you're for sure on the same page. I don't know, it's kind of petty and it's really the long game, which I appreciate. My oldest friend married his high school girlfriend the second time around. I was one of 4 groomsmen. In discussion later, we determined that 3 of us had slept with her over the years. Oh, see? Everyone likes to keep it in the close friends circle. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I'm not judging, first of all. No judgments here. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Is it ever weird? Does anybody get jealous? Does this cause problems? Just wondering. A couple of years back, like these photos are killing me. Chris, do you get what I mean by like, I feel like I'm looking at like 2010 internet?
Kinda, yeah.
Where it's like this, like, I don't know, there's something about this style of these photos that I just feel like is, you know, a decade old. A couple of years back, I met my best friend's ex at a conference. We hooked up. My friend and she just announced they're getting married. I'm the best man. Ooh. Ooh. That's what happens, but you knew it was your best friend's ex when you hooked up at the conference and you still did it. So, okay, did you tell them? Did you guys tell him that you did that? I got questions. I'm a photographer and was working with a super sweet couple. Everything was normal up until when the drinks started flowing. My partner and I were setting stuff up for the reception and the groom comes up to us and asks the DJ if he can play a video for his wife. We assume it's some cute slideshow or something. Toasts happen, then the video starts to play. Turns out the bride was sleeping with the best man and the video was from a private investigator. The whole room went silent, bride runs out, best man goes to follow her, groom's father punches best man out. Everyone else ended up staying and having a great party, super nice people. I ended up shooting the groom's second wedding. Holy shit. That would be like, you would carry that story with you forever. People would be like, what's the craziest wedding story you have? Boom, right there. No worries, you got that one locked and loaded. A video too, at the wedding. Oh, it really doesn't get better than that. That's like what I expect to see on TV and
God, that is good TV.
She's just living my dream. 2 of my friends got married. The groom cheated on his bride quite often, including the night before the wedding. Cool. An anonymous text was sent out and spilled the beans to the bride. A fight ensued, I would hope, but the wedding continued as planned. Also, the girl that did the bride's makeup for the wedding, well, that was the girl who had been sleeping with the groom. I've never witnessed a more awkward situation in my life. I can freaking imagine. First of all, if I found out that my husband-to-be cheated on me the night before the wedding, that wedding's not happening. I'm so sorry. Everyone can have their food in a takeout box or something, but we're not doing that. No. Get f***ed, buddy. You had your chance. Second of all, no need for makeup now. I'm not getting married anymore, so go have fun. You guys want this wedding for you now? Well, now you owe me f***ing 20 grand. People have more forgiveness than I do though. People have more patience for things like that. No thanks. I'll cancel that whole damn wedding. Don't try me. This is when we started to clash. She would request entire weekends off to get bridesmaid dress to go bridesmaid dress shopping together. When I did make it, she looked at dresses in the 500 plus range. Next, she talked about having an out-of-state bachelorette party. On top of that, she still expected wedding gifts from her bridesmaids. I expressed my concerns regarding the commitment and money expectations, but she said other girls could do it. I'd be like, that's great, I'm talking about me, so I don't know what you want me to do. She couldn't understand my budgeting. She would call me to express her disappointment and pretty much start complaining about me. I was in shock and I didn't know what to say. Her final saying, let's see this next bridesmaid dress shopping goes and I'll let you know if I still want you in the party. I texted her saying that I don't need to be judged or evaluated and to have a good life. I was done with these ridiculously high expectations for her wedding. Yeah, honestly, I feel like I wouldn't have even gone that far. Like if somebody's calling me to express their disappointment in me and like just complain, I would be like, okay, I don't need this. If you're so disappointed and want to complain, like go complain to somebody else. Don't f***ing call me. I'm busy, man. Also, I'm an adult. Like why? My friends don't need to be disappointed in me. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for feeling that. But like if I did something wrong and they want to confront me, for sure. But if they're disappointed because I'm not gonna spend like $2 grand on their wedding, sorry, I'm busy. I have a job. I cheated on my husband on our wedding day and married the guy I cheated with 1 year later. So the first one went well, yeah? At some point, like when you re-invite everyone to another wedding to another person the next year after you cheated on your first husband, are they like, we're not getting you a gift this time? They're not going to the destination wedding, you know? They're not spending the money this time. They're like, we'll do it in the backyard. Alone, her attitude was bearable. She is a bride after all, except she criticizes every single product I use and everything I put on her face requires a 7-minute mirror inspection complete with criticism. Except when I offer to do it differently, she just huffs and says, I don't have time to fix every little mistake, just hurry up. My trump card, it's an outdoor wedding and it's a super sunny, humid day. Normally I'd waterproof her makeup and apply it carefully so it won't melt. Today, I slapped it on and made sure to use stuff that I know runs very easily. Her photos will need more editing and it will barely hold for 2 hours in that weather. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if she reviews me badly. I do this for fun and as a favor to friends. It's not my bread and butter. I hope she looked half as melted as I planned her to look. That's savage. That's savage, but honestly. Also, like, why hire a makeup artist if you're not gonna, you know? Like, that's just, I don't know. There's part of me that feels like I would want to do my own makeup if I was getting married, because like when somebody else does your makeup, you just look different. You just look different, and sometimes that's better and sometimes it doesn't feel better because you're used to looking at yourself one way. On my wedding night, I slept with my husband's brother after we smoked pot. That's the reason. My husband still doesn't know a year later. I like that that was the reason that they gave. They were like, yeah, normally that's not what happens after that. And you're telling the internet and not your own husband. Like, at what point, like, how do you live with the guilt? You know what I mean? I think that's why cheaters always suspect that their partner is cheating when they're the one that's cheating. Cause like, the guilt just would eat away at you, right? I don't know, I think it would personally. I didn't marry the bridezilla, but I had coordinated her wedding. We had a death in the family, 6-month-old baby, that's fucking terrible. Holy shit, okay. A few days prior to the wedding, I called the bride and told her the situation and said that my assistant would be stepping in for me so that I could attend to the funeral. She told me to send my assistant to the funeral and that I had better be at her wedding. Okay. Okay. Listen here, is what I would have said. I told her I would be sending her a refund and that no one would be coming to her wedding. The groom ended up leaving her after this whole thing went down. Suffice to say, he really dodged a bullet there. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Imagine being so heartless. Like, it could have been like somebody who's like lived to 109 and you can still go to their funeral before you go to somebody you don't even know's wedding. Like, whatever. And they're also like covering their bases. They're still calling you. They're still doing the thing. Like, you're lucky that their assistant didn't call you to tell you that already. Ew, what a terrible person. I slept with 2 guys on my wedding day, the one I married and the one see, what is with people in this? The one I married and the one I wish I did. Like, why are you getting married then? If you want to be married to someone else, don't get married. It's so expensive. You don't have to do it. Like, there's so many reasons. That's crazy. People are crazy. I cheated on my ex-wife before the wedding and the day of. There's nothing I regret more than not dumping her for one of the other girls. Jeez Louise. Oh my god. You see, this is why you don't go through with the wedding when you find out. Like, you know, it's bad timing for sure the day before the wedding, but you dodged a bullet. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. I mean, you did, because you didn't go through with the wedding, which is like, it's way harder. I mean, I guess you can get an annulment. I don't know what that's like, but it's way harder to get a divorce than it is to get married, so just saying. Why even do it in the first place? Even if they're not cheating. Fuck it. Just say no to marriage. That's the petition I'm starting. Say no to marriage. Photographer awarded $1 million after Bridezilla refuses a $125 fee. Yep, that's so nice. I love that. I love that. Karma. Karma. Oops, sorry. 125 bucks too, like that's really not a lot in terms of photography. I'm sure this was just like one of those fees, like maybe like an editing fee or something like that, but like 125 bucks to a photographer for a wedding is not a lot of money. At a wedding rehearsal, I'm a groomsman wondering if I should tell the groom that his bride and I hooked up last night. Yes, you absolutely should. First of all, you shouldn't do that in the first place, but second of all, yes, you should. You totally should, and you'll probably lose a friend, but you did the right thing after you did the very, very, very wrong thing. Disgruntled bride ordered to pay $115,000 after defamatory posts ruin Chinese wedding photo business. A Richmond, BC woman who saw her Chinese wedding photography business crumble under the viral reach of a disgruntled bride's poison pen says she hopes her personal nightmare can serve as a lesson for others. A BC Supreme Court judge has ordered the angry bride to pay $115,000 in damages for defaming Kitty Chan's now ruined business. Oh dang! Oh dang! Okay, so this lady, this Bridezilla, complained, and then now she has to pay $115,000 because of it. That's some Amber Heard, Johnny Depp shit. You can't just say whatever you want, okay? There's rules against that. You can't just go out there and say whatever you want. There are consequences. Bridesmaid to a cheating bride. I was asked to be a bridesmaid one Saturday morning. That night, I know the bride cheated on the groom. Plot twist, she has flirted with this guy before, 1 year prior, but nothing physical happened and she said she was over it. Plot twist 2, I am engaged to her brother. I feel shitty for not standing up for what I believe in, but I didn't want to cause a family rift, ... Suggestions? I also have an incriminating photo, but don't want to send it myself. It's like this forever like battle of like not wanting to get involved in other people's business, but like at the same time, like if this was me, I would want somebody to tell me because I would be upset to just be like kept in the dark and not know that this terrible thing was going on behind my back. But I do understand being on the other side and being like, listen, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm just trying to like, you know, like if I could anonymously submit this incriminating photo, you know? That would be like a perfect scenario. Well, I mean, maybe you can. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should find a way. There's an app for that.